Hello everybody, Old Hollywood Vintage Gal here, ready to do another Hitchcock movie review. This one's going to be on the 1964 movie Marnie, starring Tippi Hedren, Sean Connery, and Diane Baker. The plot to this story is about a young woman named Marnie who is a perpetual liar and thief and has very serious psychological problems. When she meets a young man named Mark Rutland, things become very interesting for her in a good way, but mostly in a bad way. And everything gets interesting for Mark as well as he dives into the psyche of this tragic figure, this young woman who has a ton of issues. So this movie is an interesting one at that. It's a psychological thriller. It's not as popular though as a lot of other Hitchcock films such as Psycho, Rear Window, Rebecca, and North by Northwest, along with many others. And I had to watch this movie at least a couple more times before I actually liked the film, but I consider it now one of my favorites for sure. So Tippi Hedren was definitely an interesting choice for the character of Marnie. However, the original choice would have been Grace Kelly, but Grace Kelly couldn't do the movie because she was now Princess of Monaco. And I believe, if I have the story correctly, her people or country wouldn't let her go back to Hollywood or didn't like the idea. So, unfortunately, Grace Kelly couldn't do the film. And I do love her in Hitchcock films, so it would have been interesting to see her play this tragic character, because the only time we really got to see her as the damsel in distress who need help was in Dial M for Murder, but she wasn't a total weakling either. She was mostly a fiery, feisty woman. But Marnie is not like that. She looks like she could be, but she's really a tortured woman who's going through many problems and needs help. And it would have been interesting to see Grace Kelly tackle that role. But Tippi Hedren does a wonderful job. And this was the movie that actually, I think, really made her career. I mean, I think The Birds did, but she got better in her acting in this one than she was in The Birds. But that's just my opinion. Sean Connery was also an interesting choice. We always had, like, Jimmy Stewart and Cary Grant, who are two of the most popular leading men for Hitchcock. So Sean Connery was definitely an interesting choice, but I don't think he was the best. I like Sean Connery, I have no problem with the guy, but his character is very hit and miss. Like, I like him, but at times I don't like him. And it's really, I don't know, like I said, it's just hit and miss. It just really depends on your perspective of the actor as well as the character. Do you like the actor but not the character, or do you like the character as well as the actor? And I don't know. It's just, it's quite difficult for me anyway. Diane Baker is also pretty good in this. She's very beautiful in this film. I've only seen her, actually I didn't really see any more movies with her other than like the ending of a Paul Newman flick. But other than that, I really haven't seen her act in much. I do want to see her in Straight Jacket though with Joan Crawford. Let me know if somebody's ever seen that movie and let me know how good it is, because I want to see it. But I do want to see that movie. But Diane Baker, like I said, is pretty good in this movie. My best friend actually only liked Diane Baker in this film. She didn't like anyone else that I know of. I also like to point out that Mark's father in the film is played by, oh, I can't remember his name, but he was in the 1960s Batman show, and I love that show, so it was kind of interesting. And now when I see him, I'm like, hey, there's the butler from Batman. Oh, that's so cool. Jack Napier. That's who it was, Jack Napier. And, yeah, I just like pointing that out. The score to this movie is really good. The cinematography is also well done. As far as the score, it's not as good as, say, like Psycho or maybe even Vertigo. But I personally love the score to this movie. I actually have some of it in MP3 form. And it's definitely a well done score. And I especially love Marnie's theme. It can play it in a harsh way, but it's also played in a very nice way. And it works both ways, for sure. I really don't have much issue with this movie. If I had nitpicks, it would be the backgrounds now are cheesy. Like, a lot of it's projection screen, and it's fake, and it's easy to point out. I also don't care for Jessie, the little girl in the beginning. I actually feel sorry for Tippi Hedren's character, Marnie, because when she goes to see her mother, here's this little girl who's acting like she's the daughter and, you know, that's her house. And it's like, no, kid, that's Marnie's house. So don't, you know, go away, you little brat. I don't know. I just didn't like this character. She was just, every time I see her, I just want to give her a spank in the booty or just send her home. I don't know. She's just really annoying. I don't think I have anything else really to discuss. Oh, actually, yes. I want to talk about one of the scenes in this movie that's become very infamous, and that is the rape scene. Hitchcock wanted to do this scene. He hired a screenwriter who did The Birds. I can't remember what his name was. Evan Hunter. That's who it was. Evan Hunter. And Evan wasn't comfortable with the idea of doing the rape scene for this film. So he did two parts. The rape scene and an alternative scene. And the alternative version was that he didn't rape her. He was very understanding and very kind to this character. And Hitchcock fired him and hired somebody else to actually do the rape scene. And it's a really well done scene. It's well acted, well choreographed, and good shots. I definitely agree though with everybody though. It's like when that scene happens, it's kind of like, how can you root for this guy? Because at the same time, he's trying to help her, but seriously, you're gonna make her have, you know, sex with you or whatever? I mean, I get you're married, but still, the girl is having issues. Why would you force her to have sex with you? I don't know. It's an interesting scene, but it does make you think, why would we root for this guy? But I do, my favorite part in the movie is when he does go for an errand, but he brings back her horse Foreo, and she loves this horse so much. She loves horses. And it's a very, really sweet moment with the music and the way they're looking at each other and the way the scene is acted all in general. It's a really beautiful scene. Final verdict, it's a pretty decent movie. It's not the best Hitchcock movie there is. I've seen worse from Hitchcock. I actually like this movie better than some of his other work. And yeah, I'd say that was about it for this movie review. So let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of Marnie. Did you like it? Did you not like it? And let me know what other movie reviews you would like me to cover, or just any video in general. Okay, bye. Have a great, wonderful day.